Now, usually, we all went to Long Lake Free Gospel Church on the weekend, but one sleepy Sunday morning, my mother got up after breakfast and told me she wanted me to go with Pa Campbell into Gentilly on a mission for her. I wasn't too keen on the idea until she said we were going to do it like a ninja. I had no idea because I had no television at home, but my friend Harry T talked about ninja shows all the time. So when my mother said ninja mission and my brothers didn't sound interested in going, I decided the best person to tell would be Harry T, because sure as the sun, he would be coming into the swamp that day. So there we were in Gentilly, and after a while I hopped off the handlebars of the bicycle and walked up to a wrought iron gate with the number 242 written in gold cursive on a black iron plate. It was one of those gardens I saw in the magazines that my mother used to buy. She knew all the flowers in the French gardens by name. She wanted a garden based on that Marie Antoinette lady we studied in school. So she'd stay up nights reading and wishing that she could grow boxwood bushes, pink petunias, white roses and peonies. But all that salty soil in the swamp doesn't always allow for that kind of daydreaming. So we had to settle for some aloe vera, peppermint and periwinkle in a Sherwin-Williams paint can on the porch. I stopped at the door and fished around in my jeans pocket for a note that my mother gave me to deliver. She said my father would be at 242 Plum Noir. He would be there calling on a customer to fix a stereo. And I was to give him this note. As usual, she was very specific. She said, now when you knock and the person comes to the door, say good morning, ask for your father and hand this note to him. I said okay, because that sounded really simple for a ninja mission. But somehow, as I stood there looking at the note in my hand, something seemed to stink about the whole thing. This was obviously my belated birthday party, and I was expecting to knock and someone would come outside and everybody would be inside to shout surprise. But no, here comes the Sunday morning breeze suddenly sweeping down the slope, and it is my teacher, Miss Lambert, who comes to the door. She brushed aside her little girl curls from her face, and the white roses and peonies threw butterfly confetti all over the place. Esquid? I heard music when she spoke my name. I loved it when her French accent made a little sandwich of my name and left dainty sounds at both ends. She bends down, she smiles at me, and even in the breeze there is sweat on her upper lip, and there's another drop of it running down her neck, and her curls are all messy now. Her eyes are jumping left to right, and I'm suddenly nervous because I'm in love and I hate that I'm in my worst clothes and that I haven't had my mustache yet. And when I was busy, being confused with her beauty, who appears in the doorway behind Miss Viola, my teacher, but my pops, my father in his sad old boxer shorts. My eyes bugged out, and so did his. What are you doing here? He dashed behind the door, so I said, to hell with handing in the note. I pulled my eyes off Miss Viola and started to read my mother's note aloud. Behold, Alric Beaumont, I know thy works. I know thy works. This wasn't the first time my mother was using her King James Bible to express herself, but hell, it was the worst time. And heaven knows I wish I hadn't come. I reckoned that my brothers Frico, Tony and Doug knew all about these ninja missions, but something tells me I was the only one who ever completed one of them. Well, Miss Viola, she ducked inside, but my father rushed at me through the door in a pink bathrobe that he had obviously just dragged on. So I started running like a lucky Thanksgiving turkey because I've never seen my father so mad. He's galloping behind me, cursing my mother and me, and Harry T, he's laughing and riding right alongside me, just ahead of my old man, hollering that I should get on the bicycle handbars. But a whooping with that bedside slippers in my father's hand is more likely at this point. So I just keep on going until my old man decides it's not very decent to run about in the neighborhood in his drawers and a pink bathrobe. So I get home and Harry T is wondering if the mission is over so he can watch TV. I'm silently sobbing, not quite sure if I'm sorry for my mother or angry because my father was fixing Miss Viola's stereo on Saturday night. After that, my father moved out of the swamp. And when he drove out, I ran to the corner of the L and watched as the van splashed through the creek and rode up the slopes and got to the train tracks. And the backlights, those backlights, they just burned red hot and then went dead cold. And the van turned right and disappeared behind the mangroves out at Langley Hand Shop. and there was no sound except for the whole swamp sinking.